Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Chanel Young.
And I'm Mauricio Ortiz-Segura. What started as a celebration for a terrific sporting achievement has turned into a nightmare.
The Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade erupted into chaos when shots rang out. More than 1 million people on hand for the event packed along the parade route. And tonight, we know at least 1 person is dead and 22 are wounded, including 8 children.
Authorities now say that the 3 of the injured spectators are in critical condition. Police say they have 2 armed suspects in custody and the threat to the community is over. When the gunfire began, people scattered and a number of children were separated from their parents. Those families have been safely reunited. The shooting began at the end of the Super Bowl celebration as the Kansas City Chiefs told the crowd they would work toward making a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl appearance. The investigation is just beginning, and at the moment, there's no known motive for the attack. This is a developing story, and NTTV will cover it as information becomes available. The other major story tonight is here in Denton, a change of leadership at the Denton Police Department. The chief of police has decided to step down after just over a year in the position. Our live shot reporter Anna Fragine has more to tell us on this local story. Anna?
Thanks, Mauricio. After 16 months of being a part of the Denton Police Department, Chief Doug Shoemaker will be resigning from his position. Chief Shoemaker will utilize his personal days, until his last day of employment of March 2nd of this year. According to an email we received from Chief of Communications Officer Dustin Sternbeck, Deputy Chief Brian Coase will serve as Denton's interim Chief of Police effective immediately. There is no other information as to why Chief Shoemaker will be leaving this position. I'm Anna Fragine with NTTV News. Back to you at the desk.
I don't know about you guys, but Texas weather always keeps me on my toes. It feels like not too long ago I was shivering from cold winds, but walking to the studio today has been such a pleasant surprise. I'm really hoping the weather stays on the warmer side, and hopefully our weather anchor Kayla Bumpus can give me some good news. How about it, Kayla?
That's right, Chanel. I'd like to think that this warm weather is just thanks to the love in the air today. Right now, it is 64 degrees here in Denton, clear skies, nice and sunny, feeling a little bit at 63 with wind speeds at 11 miles per hour. Tonight, it's going to cool down to 57 degrees, feeling a little bit chillier at 54 with wind speeds at 12 miles per hour and clear skies. Tomorrow, it's going to warm up a bit to 60 degrees, feeling the same. Wind speeds are going to slow down to 5 miles per hour, and we are going to see some of those clouds. That's all I have for now. Stay tuned for this week's full weather update.
Thanks, Kayla. If you're looking to participate in the primary elections on May 5th, the Gateway Center will not be an option. Gateway will be open during early voting, but not on Election Day. Instead, your voting day location will now be based on your precinct. This is because local party members decided not to have a joint election this year. Voters will now have to register with their party and then go to their party's specific polling location on Election Day. Denton County has not yet released the Election Day polling location map, but you can find your precinct on the votedenton.gov website. Just click on the election results and maps option at the top of the page and keep an eye out for when that voting location map drops.
Today, Democrats nationwide are celebrating a win over his removal from Congress over ethic violations. The loss hurts the GOP's majority in the House and could give Democrats considerable help in upcoming bill battles. CNN's Julia Benbrook could tell us more on the election's impact.
Democrat Tom Suozzi wins a high-stakes special election on Long Island, beating out the Republican candidate Mazi Pilip. Suozzi, who has previously served in Congress, pitched himself as a moderate Democrat and centered his campaign on the economy and immigration.
They want us to come together and solve problems. So now we have to carry the message of this campaign to the United States Congress and across our entire country.
His win flips the seat previously held by disgraced Republican Congressman George Santos from red to blue. While Suozzi's victory does not change the control of the House, it does further shrink the House GOP's narrow majority. In his victory speech, Suozzi said he thinks the win sends a message.
to our friends running the Congress these days, stop running around for Trump and start running the country.
The Biden campaign celebrated in a statement saying, quote, when Republicans run on Trump's extreme agenda, even in a Republican-held seat, voters reject them. But speaking to the president's low approval rating right now, Suozzi kept his distance from Biden during the race.
If he ends up being the Democratic candidate, I'm likely to support him, yes.
The president and the first lady called Suozzi to congratulate him on the win Tuesday night. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Coming up after the break, an exclusive NTTV interview with the man who's changing roles at UNT.
And today is a very special day for couples everywhere, but do you know its history? We will be right back after the break.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
Are you behind on your credit hours? Got more time on your hands this winter? Then you need to sign up for winter sessions. Do not delay, sign up today. Visit registration.unt.edu/winter session for more information or see your advisor.
Denton's police chief isn't the only Dentonite leader stepping away from their position, as an announcement on February 6th went out to all the UNT staff and students that said current UNT President Neil Smostresk has decided to step down from his position after 10 years of service and leadership to the university. Please take a look at a few of the excerpts from our exclusive interview with Neil.
When we heard the announcement, we were all kind of surprised. You know, you're kind of a big celebrity around town. I don't know if you knew, but so I guess my first question would be, why? What made you decide to finally step away from UNT after making it your home for 10 years?
Well, so let me first say, I'm not really stepping away. I'm going to go be a professor for a little while. And I really look forward to it, because what got me into this is the idea that what I did in the classroom could change someone's life. Of course, as a president, I got to do that at a much larger scale. It's not quite as personal.
A good question would be, who's next? Do you have any idea who might be
I
next to fill
have
the
no
shoes?
idea. That'll be our chancellor and board who make that determination. I hope it's someone who is well-versed in higher ed and is capable of negotiating what might be the most challenging times ever for higher ed.
Do you think there's any specific issues to UNT that the next president is going to have to look out for?
The challenges that they face will be many, but the rewards are the best rewards ever.
Looking into this next part of your career, next part of your life, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, you know, I'm going to do a little teaching. I might work in some leadership classes and talk to some people about real live higher ed experience. Fooling around with a couple new course ideas and a couple new programs, but I'm also going to keep working on entrepreneurship and innovation, both with the city of Frisco and the new plug-and-play contract that they've developed, as well as with our own students. So I want to do some mentoring and some leadership development in both formal and informal ways.
NTTV is planning on releasing a 4-part special of the week of the 26th of February, where Neil tells us more about why he made his decision after being president for so long and what comes next for him both in his personal and professional life. So make sure you tune back in, because that's a story you won't want to miss. And Chanel, it feels like we've had sunny days with freezing wind the last couple of days, and I hope this wind, funnily enough, chills out a little bit.
Me too, Mauricio. I only have so many sweaters in my closet. But let's see if our weather anchor Kayla Bumpus can tell us about the weather we can expect for the rest of today and tomorrow. Kayla?
Thanks, guys. While we've seen some warmer temperatures here in Texas, down here in Texas, many Americans across New England have woken up to a not-so-pleasant Valentine's Day present from Mother Nature. Powerful snowfall has ran through the region, piling up over 15 inches of snow in Connecticut, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. The storm has left many New England residents shoveling themselves free from the snow, including a 74-year-old woman in New York who tragically died after a loose brick fell on her head while she was shoveling. Many residents across the region report this storm as the biggest snowstorm in recent memory, including those in the Boston area who lost power due to the storm. Despite this week's record-breaking snowstorm, many places such as Syracuse, New York, and Erie, Pennsylvania are reportedly 50 inches behind their average snowfall totals during this winter. Now let's take a look at weather here in North Texas. It is pretty warm and pretty similar across the area. 65 over in Graham, Texas, which is about the warmest we're going to see. A little cooler over in Paris, Texas at 61, along with Sulphur Springs. Down here in Stephenville, a nice 63. Across the state, lots of 60s. Over in Austin, 64, Abilene having 66, a little bit warmer, and Amarillo, 62, and all the way over in El Paso, 63. Let's take a look at this week's forecast. This week, we are starting off, unfortunately, with clouds. A high of 71 for Thursday, a low of 56. Friday, a high of 67, a low of 33. Saturday, those clouds are going to begin to clear up, a high of 50 and a low of 30. Sunday, a high of 57 and a low of 42. Monday, a high of 68, a low of 45. Tuesday, those clouds are going to come back just for a bit, but it is going to warm up, a high of 75, a low of 55. And Wednesday, a high of 80 and a low of 57. That's all I have for you guys this week. Back to you guys at the desk, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks, Kayla. Well, you already know what special day it is. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. It's time to show some love to your partner, your friends, family, and even pets. While you're at it, why not learn about the intriguing story behind this loving day? Our reporter Ashley Loudermill tells us more. Ashley?
It's an affectionate day for family and friends and also pets. Valentine's Day is believed to have started long ago. It derived from the feast of pardon, Saint Valentine. Historians tell the story of one saint who married couples in secret to prevent men from going to war. In the 1400s, the day became associated with romance. The people started writing letters and poems declaring their love and calling them Valentines. Today, over 180 million cards are exchanged each year, and florists deliver nearly 2 million roses for the day. The average person is expected to spend more than $100 showering their loved ones with gifts. That's all I have today. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ashley. Speaking of Valentine's Day, have you gotten flowers for your special someone? Because a whole lot of people have. Our reporter Chris Cordova shares how this gift of nature is very in demand this holiday and how it impacts a flower shop right here in Denton. Chris?
Thanks, Chanel. I'm here with the owner of Florist Ltd, Marianne here, and she's excited to tell us about how Valentine's Day impacts her business. So Marianne, can you tell us what does Valentine's Day mean for a small business like yours?
Valentine's Day is one of the largest floral holidays in the floral industry. And to prepare for that, you've got to have extra help, extra delivery people, extra telephone, extra sales, sale counter help. And it is a huge impact on our business.
I imagine. So what is the hardest part of owning a flower shop on Valentine's Day?
The hardest part would be you've got to know what to order, how much to order, which is a guess because from year to year you don't know. The most popular item is roses, red roses, and then colored roses, and probably tulips would be the third choice. And then you've got to be very organized in your delivery schedule.
Right, that's awesome. Thank you, Marianne. If you still need flowers for your special someone today, come check out Florist Ltd here in Denton. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Chris. Valentine's Day is not the only event we celebrate in February. We'll show you after the break.
And when it comes to living, even Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy need to negotiate. Stay with us.
Willis Library, located at the University of North Texas. It has computers, printers, and the building is open 24/7. By going online, you can book up to an hour of reserved space and one of the many private study rooms. Many of them are equipped with whiteboards, a table, and a TV to hook up to your computer. Textbooks can be checked out for free with a student ID. They also have many of these in ebook forms. This is still a library, so always remember to be quiet and respectful of other surroundings, especially in certain places where talking is not allowed. For example, the 3rd and 4th floor are completely quiet. As you can see, Willis Library has many options for students, with it offering many media sources and staying open all the time.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
Black History Month is a time to celebrate both the heard and unheard voices of Black people throughout history. And our segment anchor, Aaliyah Bordeaux, has an astronomically cool story about some of this world's trailblazers you might not have heard of. How about it, Aaliyah?
Thank you, Mauricio. In honor of Black History Month, National Geographic has released a new documentary titled The Space Race. The documentary, which became available today on Hulu and Disney+, takes a look at some of the first Black pilots, engineers, and scientists to become astronauts. This is a huge release, as many Black astronauts themselves have not even heard these stories. CNN's David Daniel has the details.
Growing up, I loved the space program, but nobody doing that stuff looked like me.
The Space Race explores the history and progress of Black astronauts, including former astronaut and NASA educator Leland Melvin.
It was just natural to be part of this, and then to be able to interact with, Ed Dwight, one of my heroes.
I was told by friends and enemies alike, you're 20 years too soon, buddy.
Ed Dwight was the first Black U.S. astronaut candidate amid the civil rights struggles of 1963.
I would have made it to the moon. But they were not going to let that happen.
Dwight says he's grateful for the chance to set the record straight.
All these past stories that have been put in the press to justify my not going into space.
To see a Black man in space, it
it would have changed things.
The directors say each astronaut they interviewed told them they also had to talk with someone else.
I'm here because others paved the way for me. You need to, learn their stories to understand mine. And then their goal is always to make sure that once they've opened those doors, that other people are going to come behind them.
We wanted to sit with them and hear their unfiltered, emotional journeys.
Like Victor Glover, who spent more than 6 months on the International Space Station as protests over the death of George Floyd continued on Earth, prompting a call with other current and former black astronauts.
I was blown away to see all of these names pop up on the screen. Mae Jemison, Charlie Bolden, Guy Bluford.
They were all saying, what can we do for you? How can we help you?
Black history is American history. We forget it at our peril.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, I hope you guys watching at home feel just as inspired as I do. That's all I have for you guys today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Aaliyah. We are reflecting on history just as fast as it's happening, and people are still fighting for change all across the nation. Here are some of the major protests happening right now. Depending on where you live, you may have had a difficult time finding a way to see your Valentine today. It may be because Uber and Lyft drivers are on a one-day strike, claiming that these ride-hail companies are taking a bigger percentage of their fares. The Lyft Corporation disagrees, saying their drivers are taking home an average $23 an hour. The rallies happened today across the country in 17 cities. No cities in North Texas were affected. But these drivers aren't the only ones fed up with being swept under the rug by their employers. In fact, these flight attendants are trying to stay out of mid-air flights more than they're fighting for a change. And what they called a worldwide day of action, flight attendants took to the streets around the country yesterday with demands for better union contracts, improved wages, benefits, and schedules, as well as a safer work environment. Local union president Chris Burton responded with support toward the workers and their choice for a show of unity.
And now Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald Duck want to join a union. The employees who played Disney's most iconic characters, such as Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy at Disneyland, are now seeking to join the Actors Equity Association. The union is looking to serve the other 1,700 employees at Disneyland. The workers' demands stem from rising costs of living in Orange County, California. Previous negotiations with Disney saw the performers' minimum wage increase from $20 and up to over $24 an hour at the end of last year. While a majority of employees state their love for working at Disneyland, they state the Magic Kingdom has to do more to meet their demands.
Well, Mauricio, the Super Bowl was so fun, but now I feel like I don't have any more sports to watch.
Well, don't you worry, Chanel. Our sports anchor, Mackenzie Freeman, can tell us about another popular sport that is right around the corner. What do you have for us, Mackenzie?
I have to agree with you, Chanel. I'm going to miss football season as well, but when we come back, it'll be time to talk about America's pastime.
I'm so tired. I feel ugly. I'm not okay. I didn't know UNT had counseling services. Maybe I should check it out. This looks like the place.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
Baseball is back, and the Texas Rangers are ready to get into the swing of things after their first ever championship season. The 2023 World Champions look to take the mound on Friday at 2 p.m. as a part of their spring training. The game will be against the Kansas City Royals, who finished second to last in the American League last season with a record of 56 and 106. The Texas rotation may look a little different, as the Rangers still haven't re-signed postseason superstar Jordan Montgomery. To see the change in the lineup, you can catch the game on the MLB app or MLB.com. Speaking of Dallas teams being successful, last night the Dallas Stars took on the Carolina Hurricanes and won 4-2. This win has improved the Stars' record to 6-1-0 in their last 7 games. Stars goalie and first-time All-Star Jake Ottinger was a difference maker in this game as he had 32 saves. Ottinger may have been a force to be reckoned with, but the Stars' offense was firing on all cylinders with goals being spread amongst the team. Rope Hint scored the first and only goal in the first period. His goal would be followed by a Mason Marchment goal in the second period, thanks to the assist by Niels Lundqvist. At the start of the third period, the score was all tied up until Jason Robertson was able to sling the puck in the net for the go-ahead goal. Lastly, Matt Duchene, ex-Nashville Predator, was able to score off a wrist shot for his 19th goal of the season. This sealed the deal for the Stars in terms of Matt Duchene. He will be going against his ex-team tomorrow night at 7 p.m. as the Stars take on the Nashville Predators. In terms of traveling, the UNT men's basketball team has made their way southeast to take on the Florida Atlantic Owls. The Mean Green are coming off a big win against school rival SMU, in that she had a double-double with 10 rebounds and 16 points to boost their record to 18-5 overall and 8-3 in conference. The Owls, however, haven't had much luck in their first season of American Athletic Conference play. Florida Atlantic is coming into this game with an 8-15 record overall and 3-9 in conference, with their most recent loss being to Wichita State. The last time North Texas and Florida Atlantic took green, destroyed the Owls with a score of 86-52. This game is going on right now, so after nightly news, be sure to catch up on your Mean Green on ESPN+. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mackenzie, and thank you guys for watching NTTV Nightly News.
North Texas Television.